amigos, place your bets. Brad the Big Noise Evans here on a Solo Express version, all college basketball all the time of the Fade 5 podcast presented by Suavecito Tequila. Pick up some love juice tonight at Total Wine and More and sip on some of these selections on the hardwood, a loaded slate. And that's why I felt it was imperative for me to offer up some of my picks in this space. And last night it was profitable here on the podcast. Way to go with my partner Nate Lundy and his NHL selections, which were absolutely scorching. And I went 3-2 on the college basketball hardwood. So let's go ahead and get after it. Without further ado, numero cinco here on the Fade 5 today. Let's go to some Patriot League action. I'm going to lay the in Pinto with the Army Golden Knights at home against American University, minus 110 at BetMGM. Army is really killing it right now in the Patriot League, shooting 50.6% from distance. That is number one in the conference, and they're also number two in effective field goal percentage offense, and number three as well in three-point percentage D, giving up just 29.9% from way downtown. If you look at American, a lot of those shots come from behind the arc, nearly 38% of them in league action, and the turnovers have been a problem. They have been coughing it up at a rate of 27% of their possessions on the season, though they are number one in three-point percentage D. Of course, the home environment will play in Army's hands, so I salute the military branch here. Give me the Golden Knights, and I will lay the point at home against American. Numero cuatro right here in the land of Lincoln. And way to go last night, Illini actually resembled a upper-tiered college basketball titan against the Nebraska Cornhuskers on the road. Not so much what you showed against the Northwestern Wildcats a few days ago, and they're in action tonight up there at Welsh Ryan hosting Rutgers. And I'm going to take the under in this game. This is going to be a war of attrition by definition. Two teams have played a very slow pace. Rutgers number 228 in the country and adjusted tempo. You look at Northwestern, just a little bit off that pace at 231 and nationally and adjusted tempo. Both are defensive stalwarts. You look at Rutgers number 3 in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency and Northwestern number 9. So they really body you up. They got a hand in your face. They guard you and they make putting ball through basket quite the chore. Both only shooting 31% from distance on the season. Both top 30 in turnover percentage defense. So they're forcing a lot of miscues and mistakes. So you tally it all up. You got elite defense. You got two slower teams and the three-point shooting woes of both the Scarlet Knights and the Wildcats. And that spells only one thing. UNDER, under at 126.5, minus 110 at FanDuel. Marching on, let's go to a behemoth battle at the Big East between the Creighton Blue Jays and the Xavier Musketeers, and what's sure to be a high-scoring shootout affair there in Cincinnati. And I'm going to take the Creighton Jays, the visiting team, and the points at +3, minus 110 at BetMGM. Why am I on Creighton? I know their record is, to some people, rather unsightly. They're a borderline tournament team, but you got to remember, Ryan Kalkbrenner missed 3 games due to mononucleosis. He is back. He's still playing at a high level, the 7-footer, and he is the centerpiece of the offensive scheme, whether he calls his own number, whether he kicks it out to Baylor Shireman, to Tyler Alexander from way downtown, and they knock it down from distance. He is the front and center a guy that's going to have to play at a high level tonight if Creighton's going to spring the upset on the road. I think it's a distinct possibility. You look at Creighton overall, number 1 in adjusted defensive efficiency and the rough and rugged Big East. They're number 1 in 2-point percentage D because Kalkbrenner is a supreme rim protector. They're also really stretching out extraordinarily well defensively, only giving up 28.2% from 3 in conference action. Meanwhile, on the other side of the floor, they're shooting exactly 38% from distance. So Again, Baylor Scheideman and Tyler Alexander, supreme marksmen, guys, both of them shooting, I believe, above 40% on the season. They got to minimize the turnovers. Those self-inflicted wounds have been problematic at times. But you look at Xavier, yeah, they are 3-point oriented. They're shooting nearly 41% along the arc in Big East play. So Creighton, that is the strength, is defending the perimeter and some of those outside shots and challenging those shooters. You look as well, Xavier number 297. Again, number 297 in college basketball and 3-point percentage D. So it goes back to Alexander, Shireman, and those marksmen from outside. If they morph into arc assassins and they go splishy splash, I'm cashing a ticket here on the Blue Jays +3 -110 at BetMGM. All right, moving on down to the SEC and what is sure to be a nip and tuck affair in Fayetteville between the Alabama Crimson Tide, the visitors there against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Will it be woo pig suey? I don't think so. I'm going to take the visiting Bama squad is very balanced here in a pick-em -110 at DraftKings. So you look at Arkansas, bottom 3 in 6 different offensive categories so far in SEC play. They're shooting a rancid 19.4% from three-point land. Yikes. That is barf-inducing, to say the least. Yeah, Arkansas is a very good interior team, a very good rebounding squad. They really crashed the glass. And the number 44 on the year in effective field goal percentage defense. But look at Alabama. They play up tempo, they spread you out, and they really attack the basket. They got to minimize the turnovers, and they've done that so far in conference play. That was a problem outside of SEC action, but they are top 3 in 5 different defensive categories. Over 42% of their shots come from distance, and they are netting 39.2% of those in SEC action. So more superior defense, a better 3-point shooting team. Again, Arkansas only 19.4% so far in league play. I think Alabama goes into Fayetteville. It's going to be a raucous, a rowdy atmosphere and steals a W. So give me them on a pick 'em. Numero uno on the Fade 5 Express Edition. Today is an OGP, and come with me on this little two-legger down in the Lone Star State. We got TCU. Hopefully they've already forgot about what happened in that travesty of a performance against the University of Georgia in the national title game. Concentrate on the hardwood and not the gridiron instead. Maybe they're going to take out some of those frustrations, Great Horny Toads, on the Texas Longhorns tonight on the road in Austin. And I'm going to take TCU on an alt spread up to 12.5. And I'm going to take the under at 149.5. Both those events occur. You're looking at +105 at BetMGM. Why do I like both of these legs? Well, you look at TCU. This game should be faster paced, and that is really kind of a deterrent of taking the under, but these are familiar conference foes. I think they're outstanding defensively as well, especially Texas, but TCU has its own defensive acumen that is high up there in the national ranks. So I think it will be a little bit lower scoring than what the surface may show, but I'm still building in that safety net, that cushion there, and taking that total up to 149.5. But both teams, full disclosure, 135 or higher in adjusted tempo on the season, but both teams 31 or higher in adjusted defensive efficiency on the year. TCU number 322 in 3-point percentage offense. Yikes, only shooting right around 30% from distance. However, defensively, they're limiting opponents almost as bad as they're shooting at 29.9% from that point on the floor. So both the turnover game, and they definitely coax a lot of those. So does Texas, and the defense. I think we'll keep this lower scoring than people think. TCU has the edge in second chance opportunities, one of the better offensive rebounding squads in the country. But generally speaking, these teams are fairly equal at all of the advanced analytics. So you're looking at Ken Pom, Haslametrics, or Bart Torvik. Just look at the resumes. They're near mirror images of one another. So, again, 12.5 points is a lot here on this alt spread. It's a nice cushion, and the under 149.5. I think both prevail, and it's plus 105 at BetMGM. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't throw in some bonus time on the Fade 5 pod today. And let me work at a couple of other sides for you in college basketball. I like UNCW tonight at home against University of Charleston. I know Charleston is ranked. I know Charleston has had a phenomenal season, but so have the Seahawks, and I will take them plus 2.5 at home where they are unblemished. An impeccable 9-0 this year. They were competitive against, or actually they beat an Auburn squad, I believe, earlier this season, 76-64, but oh, no, sorry. Look at the wrong line. That was the University of Georgia, which I'll share here in a minute. Getting back to UNCW, they have won 13 in a row. And they've been very good at home as well. And you look at the Seahawks, they are top 3 in offensive and defensive efficiency, much like Charleston is. They must minimize the turnovers. They coughed it up 20.2% of their possessions, but Newby and Harden Hayes are both shooting well north of 40% from distance on the year. And they look at Charleston in conference play, they're number 10 in the league in 3-point percentage D, giving up 34.5%. So UNCW plus the 2.5. And yeah, let the cat out of bag here, or the dog. Give me the University of Georgia at home plus the 2.5 against Mississippi State. All the glory of Stetson Bennett. You have to say it with almost like a genteel accent. But Georgia, the throttling that they issued to TCU was something else on Monday night. Will it be the same against Mississippi State in the Battle of Bulldogs tonight? I think it's going to be a close affair, but I will take the plus 2.5. Getting back to the real facts here that I was sharing with UNCW, and it really applies to Georgia. Georgia is 9-0 at home this year. They beat Auburn by 12 at home this year. Their turnovers have been problematic for them. Number 272 in turnover percentage offense. But they are number 51 in the country in effective field goal percentage D. And two, they're shooting the leather off the ball really from outside. Nearly 36% they have netted this season. You look at Mississippi State, a team that is number 283 in effective field goal percentage offense. So I think ultimately UGA gets the cover plus the 2.5. I am out of time here on the Express edition of the Fade 5 podcast. Drop us a rating and a review, would you kindly? Lundy's going to be back in the saddle with me later this week. I might crank out another one of these on Thursday if I'm still riding a heater, but we shall see. Until next time, as always, feed or follow. That is up to you.